If they do that, they're going to be very, 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 very tough to beat.
Wilson! Oh! And we are tied!
Let's go! Call them by Slamma.
And I don't ever let them forget where we come from.
Getting those phones out before we acting ignorant.
Zion Kris got his way through, and he may go! Kris is in! Houston leads out of nowhere!
Seventh heaven for Houston. The Cougars advance to their seventh Final Four.
Go Cougs! Let's go! It's so good! The dream remains alive for the Houston Cougars!
Welcome to this edition of Let's Rage Coogs, presented by the Saxenian Family. Primary sponsor and secondary sponsor is Houston Star Pizza. I am KG Kris Gardner. With me is
I got the
Dunlap.
intro going again on my end.
You do?
Well, now it just stopped.
That's weird.
It's good now.
How you doing, brother?
Man, another dominant win like we expected. I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing, it was a BTA, like we expected. Real quick, Coach Andy Yanez won't be joining us because if I remember Andy saying this right, he and his team were at the game. So he got tickets to have the his squad come to the game because he wanted his players to see how. Saying cut the intro off. I don't see any
Yeah,
intro
see, it was on my end too until you started talking. So I don't know if maybe they can see it.
That's weird because I didn't do anything different because it's off. Unless it's on loop. I don't think it shouldn't be on loop. Mr. Big Texco, is it still playing? Because like I said, we're talking. So let me know again. Let me know because now Dizzy Biz said it was normal on his end. So this is weird. That's weird. Have to work on.
Okay, we should be good.
All right. But yep, Andy Yanez, Coach Yanez, he and his squad were at the game because he wanted his players to see how hard a team like the Cougs work and play. So he wanted them to get a taste of what it means when he says, I want them to play tough. So that's what he wanted them to see in person. So what's your thoughts on Coach Yanez doing that?
That's a smart coach right there. I mean, he knows where he's gonna see unlimited effort and toughness regardless of the opponent. And what better way to take him to his alma mater to let him see it hands on.
And as you see in the crawl, Emmanuel Sharp scored a game high 23 points. But as Mr. Big Texco says, Isaiah Harwell, 20 points, 8 for 14 from the floor, made 4 threes, 4 for 9 from 3. So the only negative, and we got to find out maybe tonight or tomorrow, is the injury to Khalifa Sacco. Isaiah Harwell had a baseline drive, and Isaiah crashed to the floor. He rolled into Khalifa's leg, and his knee kind of inverted. So it didn't look good. He was helped off the court. Don't want to speculate on what it could be. But on the opposite end, better news, Jacob McFarland got some minutes. First time in almost 2.5 years. So overall, your thoughts on Khalifa's possible injury concern and Jacob coming back?
Well, number one, always wishing him the best, and his injury hopefully is something he can come back from first within himself, and then once he gets healthy, hopefully he can come back well enough to play. Because I feel like he was just turning a corner, just settling in his role, and kind of figuring out what he was brought to Houston to bring. And so, of course, I mean, hopefully he's all good and he recovers, and it's not something that'll happen for a significant amount of time. But like you said, on the flip side of that, it was good to see Jacob get some minutes, and him or Big Sid might be forced, depends on once we get hear from him to step into a role.
And your thoughts on Isaiah Harwell? I think scoring the
Man,
most points scored all year. Add them all up previous games to he didn't score 20. He did tonight.
Man, I've been waiting on it. I think in games like this, I think it was the perfect time to kind of find that rhythm, play extended minutes, and get shots to fall. And I think it was only a matter of time because he was getting good looks. Shot just wasn't falling. So hopefully, a game like this can be a springboard from him to find that rhythm. I think um, I don't know if it's confidence. Maybe it's confidence when you miss consecutive shots for consecutive games, and so I think it's more of a rhythm thing. I think the confidence is there. So hopefully now he kind of gets in the groove and can stack these nights like he had like this. You won't always have 20 points, but just
Right.
the consistency of shot making in which he's a 5-star recruit for a reason. McDonald's All-American for a reason. So 4 out of 9 threes, that's good. 8 of 14 from the field. Now stack these nights to become more consistent.
And Chase McCarty rebounded well. He hasn't shot the ball well from 3 yet. He makes them in practice. He's not making them in game. So whatever the disconnect is from practice to games, he's got to figure that out. But Coach Sampson gave Chase McCarty credit at halftime and after the game for his effort, his hustle, his intangibles, his rebounding, his spark. What do you think about the words that Coach Sampson said about Chase and what he did?
I mean, that's going to get him on the floor. Now, his shot making is going to keep him on the floor, to use Coach Sampson's words against him. And I think that's what we need. Of course, I mean, that's good. So not to undermine it, no matter not to sound like I'm undermining it, it's good to have him to rebound, especially if his role may expand even more if not knowing what the injury is with Khalifa. And so it was good to see him do that, be in the right spots, get those rebounds. But like Coach gave him good praise. Like he said, he's one of the best shooters that he's had at UH, and he's had some real deal snipers. I mean, I don't need to name them. He said that. So when
Right.
I hear it from him, I gotta hold him to a utmost standard. I can't lower it at all. And so I'm expecting him to make those open shots. Like you said, they put the work in at practice. He make them in practice. Now it's to do it in front of the bright lights.
And this is another legit good sign. Jodo Tugler stayed out of foul trouble. So that's a plus. A lot of positives overall. And yes, we know Jackson State and blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. But the Cougs worked on what they needed to work on and improve from Saturday to today. And that's a step forward.
Most definitely. I think just early in the game when Jackson State was making some of those shots before we kind of ran away with it can be some coaching points that coach should kind of, I don't want to say nitpick, but find different ways like, hey, like different rotations, better competition. We got to be where we're supposed to be and put forward a better collection of stops. And so, I mean, hats off to Jackson State early. They made a couple of threes early and just fought as hard as they could before we just kind of ran away with it. But Emmanuel, man, he got out to a cut start. 8-0 run, scored the first 8 points, and that's back-to-back consecutive really good games from him. And he seems to be really, really rounding into form. Like if he can keep this up, I know he's been a streaky shooter, a good shooter, but some nights he might go 1 for 6. He
Right.
might go 6 for 8. And so just when he's knocking them down and then he's attacking off the closeouts, it makes us even better.
And this is a great point from Dizzy Busy. Because this was after a really great possession defensively by the Cougs. And the cameras caught Kelvin, raising his hands up to the crowd and fist pumping the air because he was so excited and happy about the defensive effort that his guys put forth. So what do you think about that?
Calculated. I think it's good. It's Coach Sampson. Like that's the cores and that's the culture. So he want to make sure that the crowd sees him congratulating those particular plays. And so they can kind of see it and kind of follow suit per se. And so I think it's just Cole Sampson being Cole Sampson, and it's good to see him do that. I like when he's animated, like telling the crowd to get up because he knows conference is right around the corner. How much we're going to need the crowd to make noise on those type of plays specifically because we're going to always give that type of effort.
Your thoughts on this comment about Milos? He needs to be more aggressive.
Nah, I wouldn't say so. I think in a night like this, he's really just letting the game come to him. I mean, he wasn't. It was. I mean, we played Jackson State, so it's it's hard for me to say he need to be more aggressive. He only played 6 minutes. Was 3 for 8. Missed all of his threes. And last game, I don't think he shot well, but made a couple shots. So I think for him, it's just. I wouldn't say it's staying aggressive. I think it's him just. It's kind of like I said with Hardwell, kind of finding that rhythm and getting in that rhythm and kind of stacking these good games up shooting wise because he's impacting the game whether he's making shots or not.
And Emmanuel and Isaiah Harwell were the two Cougs in double figures. All right, let me see if I can bring you Fluff here. Fluff, can you hear us? Okay, that's positive. That's great. All right, now let me see here. That's the wrong one. Just had it. All right. Here. Replace Andy screen with Fluff. And now I got to get down. What happened down? I know he's right there. Yeah. Bring Dayon on here. All right. Fluff.
Yes, sir.
How you doing first of all, brother?
I can't complain. I'm sorry to everybody missed last game. Had some things. We was on the road and some things, but we're back. Glad to be back.
What are your thoughts on tonight's Cougs game?
Well, 80-38. It was good to see Harwell play better. A balanced attack. Work on some things. Work on some different lineups. Um, you know, just want another day at the office.
What did you think Milos was aggressive tonight? Or not
No,
aggressive enough?
not aggressive enough. Sometime like I think we talked about I forgot who we played earlier in the season, but we talked about sometime when you play these teams, they are good games because it challenges you to be your same self that you have to be against the Kansas, against the powerhouses in the country and in our conference, and you know that's why these games are good sometime. And I don't think Milo's really, I guess it's just one of those games where maybe he couldn't get going.
And Kingston Flemings took 3 shots, 5 points, 6 assists. Chase McCarty had 7 rebounds. No, 2 Cougs scored double figures. Mercy Miller scored 9 points. What do y'all think about Mercy Miller and his
Go
dunks?
Mercy. Go Mercy. I mean, it was
Yeah,
good to see.
oh yeah, yeah. I'm room for Mercy. I just think with he's showing that his ability to not only make shots, but he can. I think he can be a shot creator for himself and for others if need be. And so I just think as long as when he gets these minutes, he just needs to show. I'm sure what he shows in practice. So it's good to see him and Isaiah really to make shots because we're gonna need that bench production coming off the bench.
Fluff?
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is this though is we never know how the roles switch and change as the season go. You know what I mean? Like D is saying, like with injuries, anything. You know what I mean? Like he might end up being a seventh guy if a couple things happen. So you know, it was a good sight to see.
I still think the defense, this team has more guys who are capable of scoring. So I'm not really worried about the offense. I want the defense to be locked in more nights like this. I know the opponent wasn't that great, but this defense was so good that Coach Sampson was hype about it. That's what that's kind of defense. That standard, as Dan said, that standard, that Cougar defense that we all expect game to game. That's what I'm looking for, consistently going forward.
Well, you know this. When we talk about defense, a lot of people think about defense and they think about, okay, I'm on my man, I'm on the offensive player, I'm moving my feet, I'm playing defense. But the rotations, I think the rotations were great, knowing who has the next pass. Ball goes there, that's a rotation there on the line, the next person in the back or on the side or at the nail is making the correct rotation. That's what coaches get excited about is everybody on that string and talking and communicating and being in the right spots at the right times to make a great defensive play.
And I think earlier in the season, you would see breakdowns from lack of rotations or from somebody not being at that next rotation, helping the helper. And so, to that point, I think now they kind of starting to well into form and kind of be a well-oiled machine, and it's kind of natural, kind of second nature for this group.
And I think the team's 9-1. So I think many of us are kind of spoiled and expected everything to be clicking in game one, game two. Coach Sampson has said how much he likes the potential of this team. He said it again post game that he really, this team is getting better, and he believes this team will continue to get better. They're 9-1. They won tonight by 42 points. Yet
Yeah.
one of their freshmen stepped up and scored 20 points. Other freshmen didn't score, and they still won with 42 points. So this team has a lot of weapons, but as Deion has said and Coach Sampson has said, they got to stack consistent performances game to game, and then they'll really, really be good.
I also think this too, like Chris, you alluded to earlier in the season. We wanna, we wanna continuously get better. We don't want to get stuck down or too high or reach our peak. And that's what I see from this team. I think it's one of those teams to where we haven't even seen us play 75% of our best basketball yet. I don't think we've played our best basketball yet, and that's a great thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we rather it this way
Right.
of just continuously, getting better and showing what we can be in March.
And I understand that some fans, heck, some local media may even say, "Yeah, but have you seen Arizona play and Iowa State and Michigan?" Yes, but this is December. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
looking forward. I wish we said it before when the schedule came out. I wish the Big 12 would have scheduled the Cougs and Iowa State twice instead of just once, and the Cougs in Arizona twice instead of just once. But I'm looking for those matchups. The Big 12 is the best conference in men's basketball this year,
the Big 12 is the best conference in men's
hands
basketball
down.
this year, hands down. Yes.
And I'm looking forward to conference play. It's going to be some great battles. I don't see any team this year going with just one loss in conference play. What do I think about that?
That's deep. You kind of stuck me right there with that
As
one.
as
Say that
as
again,
good as
Chris.
all these teams are, I just don't see any one of them only losing just once. Dan, you kind of smiled there, man. What do you think?
It's because I'm smiling because I didn't even see us going undefeated. I mean, losing Jamal, replacing Milo, so I'm thinking like we can go undefeated, but we can also lose one of like it can go either like I
Yeah.
don't know, it can go
It could
either
go
way.
undefeated or lose too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy. It's like
You know what
both.
I'm saying?
It
So,
could be both.
yeah.
Dang, Chris messed me up with that one. That was dang.
I mean, because the
That's why I
Cougs,
was smiling because I'm like,
yeah,
Me
I
too.
don't really know. I
they
don't
were
really
10-0
know.
on the
'Cause
road
I thought
last
of
year in the
like
Big
three
12.
teams off the jump. Out the Arizona, Kansas. I said, oh man, we could lose two or win them all. We'll lose three or win them all. That's when you know you're in the best conference.
Yeah. You know, Iowa State and Kansas is Kansas. I think they got to figure it out with Darren Peterson, coming back and playing sometimes and not playing other times. But your thoughts on Jacob McFarland coming back after 2.5 years, Fluff?
I mean,
What's it like, Fluff, coming back after missing so much time? 2 years, injuries here and there. You got another. Like, what's it?
I never been out that long, but when I was playing, but 2.5 is a long time because you could train, you could train and whatever all you want. That game speed, like even like I think it's about maybe 4 or 5 months ago, I went and played in the men's league. I haven't played in a real basketball game probably in 3 years. And I went and played that game and the competition wasn't even good. And it's just a difference. It's under the whistle, it just gets different. So, I don't know. I don't that's a big adjustment being out that long. I can't call it. I've never been out that long. But
What's the longest you've been out with injury?
longest I've been out was a whole year, whole calendar year. I had surgery on my I was still living in Houston, but I had surgery on my knee and my hand in the same like time frame. So it kind of had me out the whole year. And it took a while to get back going once I, got back on the floor.
What was more difficult for you, the mental recovery part of it, or the physical, like believing, trusting your body that you were good to go?
Well, when you first come back, you can't do whatever you want. When you in so much shape and you're training and you're playing, you dominating, whatever type of game you have, you're, 9 times out of 10, you're dominating your role, whatever your role is, right? And that's hard to do when you're coming back and everybody else has been playing. So you have, like you said, you have to deal with that mental block of today ain't gonna be the day that I'm all the way back, and you have to build and stack those days to get back to that level.
What do you think about JoJo's game tonight?
Hey Chris, I cannot judge him. I only like to judge JoJo when it's smoke to be played. You know what I mean? That's when I know what JoJo is gonna give us. Is when we have when it's a big time game. But of course
Agreed.
but of course he brings it defensively. Of course he's gonna attack the glass. But JoJo, I gotta see. I love to see JoJo when we really need JoJo.
So that'll be next Saturday against Arkansas.
Listen, I'm so upset about that. We'll talk about that off air. But yeah,
Because it
that's
won't
when we'll
be this
see.
Saturday against New Orleans. Even though New Orleans did
No,
beat
not this
TCU.
Saturday. No. I'm sorry. Yeah, next Saturday.
Right. No. Yeah, but I'm saying they played New Orleans this Saturday on the 13th. That shouldn't be. But New Orleans did start the season with the win at TCU. Surprised a whole lot of folks. And I'm
Yeah,
sure
but
Coach Sampson will tell all the players, they beat TCU. You got to be ready to play. Be locked in this Saturday. Be ready.
nah,
Master P, they general manager or some form over there in New
Right.
Orleans.
I don't
Yeah.
care if Master P was their daddy. it ain't happening. Master P, we bout it. We love the food in New Orleans. We love Mercy. Okay. But you gonna need some mercy and it ain't gonna be your son on Saturday. This ain't that ain't going down. You know what I'm saying?
Is it going to be another BTA?
What you know about that, Chris? That's funny. Yeah.
That's what,
Yeah.
that's what me and Deion said before right at the start of the show, man, for this one.
Big belt. Sort of like my kids, I love my kids. Sort of like my kids did this past weekend when we beat two Nike teams, Team Carmelo Anthony,
Oh,
and we beat the New York Rens. They call them the Renaissance. But
hmm
like I told them in the game, 95 North. New York is 95 South. New Haven, Connecticut is 95 North. So I just, hey, big belt, Chris. Big belt.
how are things coming with you, or do you want to get a big sneaker deal from somebody?
That's what I want, man. That's what I want. That's what I need, man. That's what I gotta have. I gotta have it. So, I had to tell my kids during the game when we were playing the New York Rams, I had to tell them, look over there, they got all them Nikes on. We got Nikes on, but we had to buy them. They probably coming from the hotel with a whole bunch of boxes and everything. Man, what y'all gonna do? Man, they ain't like that. You know what I'm saying? They ain't like that, Chris. You know what I mean? I don't even know what the situation is over there, but I had to spin it like that. But it's
Right,
real. Independent versus machine.
right. Would y'all agree with this statement from Crabtree? This team is more work in progress than most UH teams in this era, in the Sampson era.
They saying like the team that is like they see that the most. And
Is this team more of a work in progress than previous Coach Sampson teams?
no, I think the team that was at work, we didn't go as far as we wanted to. When that year we lost to Poole at the buzzer.
The
We
Michigan
kind of
at
we
Michigan
was
game, yeah,
we was kind of like that year. We was kind of like trying to see who we were, and if we'd have won that game, we'd have went so far.
yeah. Coach Sampson still
Yeah,
talks about that.
Yeah, I can't say I agree with that either because I mean different teams around this time, like Coach Sims would say, mostly not playing their best basketball in November and December. So they always a work in progress, and then once it comes January and February, you see them just getting better and better and winning conference, whether it's AAC or Big 12, and then it's like okay, we ready. So I can't say. I think this is just another year in which another team is working to get better, the game by game.
I mean, he adds a comment about because of the freshmen, and I think we get that, and relying on the freshmen. But I, c- I could say last year's team, last year's team was 4-3.
Yeah,
you
right.
know, and we had doubts.
Matter of fact, last year team is the most work in progress team we had. If you wanted, we went to the national championship game. You're right,
Yeah,
Chris.
because we were like, I don't know about Milos, and I don't know, and what's going to happen here, and then 19
And
and
then
one in the
from
Big 12. You know?
last year's team, we replaced two starters with two lottery picks. So the ceiling is no ceiling.
So yeah. Oh, this version of the team right now compete on the road in the Big 12. Mm,
Say it again.
No, I think, yeah, I
this
think
version
so.
of
This
the
version
team
team
right
right now,
now could compete on the road in the Big 12.
yes, no question,
Yeah,
no
hundred
question, no
percent.
question, 100%. Facts, because yeah.
I want to make another comment about Samson,
Okay.
though. Samson gonna tell them more. Hey, you better be ready to play. Samson, so a lot of times when you play on a Saturday, if you play really well, you mess around and get Sunday off.
Yep.
Samson also telling them if y'all don't come in here and do what y'all supposed to do, I might see y'all tonight or tomorrow early.
Yep. Because
So
the game
that's
Saturday
why
starts
those
at
games are good, Chris.
it's
Even
an
a
early
game
start.
like tonight.
Yep.
You out there like this. You out there going crazy because you like, man, I ain't trying to run lines after the game. The media in college basketball is so funny. The media and whoever think that it's going along like this when they're not around, and they don't really know how things are when it's not game time or when it's not interview time. It's a whole nother thing going on when it's just the team, the coaches, and John Houston.
And you're right, because Saturday's game starts at 2 Central.
Oh man.
Yeah, if they
They could
don't
be back
play,
there. If they play around, they could be back there by 9.
yeah, for sure. Yep.
For sure.
Anything else as we wrap it up on this? Well, let me say this, of course. I want to thank Steve Saxenian and the Saxenian family for being the primary sponsor of Les Rage Coogs. And of course, the Star Pizza, Mike and Jennifer Pittman, for being the secondary sponsor of Les Rage Coogs. And we are getting closer to Big 12 play. Conference play is around the corner. And if you are interested, willing, and able to sponsor and advertise, get a spot on this show, email let's rage coogs at gmail.com. And of course, we got plans for the Big 12 tournament and the NCAA tournament because all of us believe this team is going to go far into the tournament. And the goal, still the same, is in the season at minimum. Well, no, it's flat out in the season with the win. I was going to say 6 straight wins, but that's in the
the
season
one.
with the win. That's it.
That's it.
Be the last one standing to get that win. And have a Les Rage Coogs live reaction after winning the championship. And then have a Les Rage Coogs the day after when we are kind of sober.
For sure. I just want to say, man, as much as we talk about with the team, we're 9-1. Like I said earlier in the show, we have yet to see our best basketball yet. And sky's the limit for us. Go Cougs.
And this is, it's true to a point. Arkansas game is important for seeding purposes, but Cougs have 10 Q1 games in conference play. They got plenty of chances to
Right.
stack wins up, quadrant 1 wins once conference play starts. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the ride, looking forward to some more wins, looking forward to me, Fluff, Andy, Dayon celebrating with a sip of some water in person at a table as we say cheers and salute to the championship. It finally happened. And that's what.
What happened?
Question for you, Fluff.
Yes, sir.
What does Chase McCarty need to do to get his shot to translate from practice to the game?
Stop flicking it. Meaning like, stop doing this. Stop doing that. And pulling his hand back. You know what I mean? I tell people all the time, and people might take it personal, but you got to shoot it like a white boy every time.
What does that mean?
What is that? Okay. What that
Consistent
mean?
fundamentals.
What that means? Shooting it like a white boy every time means that no R&B at the finish. So what I mean by that is every time you shoot the ball, it's your hand is like this every single time. Where a lot of guys sometimes like to put the flavor on it and and pull a hand back, the swag with it.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it don't go in. So that's what I mean by shooting it like a white boy.
I knew what you meant. Understood. No doubt. And Coach Deion did too. So yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's wrap it up. I gotta upload my show for tomorrow that I did record earlier. So Fluff, Coach Fluff, let everybody know. We gotta get you. Let me see if Andy has it set up. Get you your Elm City Elite stuff. Yeah. I'm gonna make a banner for you. So send me that stuff so I can have it up for next show, for Saturday's show when
I
you wrap up.
appreciate it.
But go ahead and tell everybody who you are, brother.
Check us out. First of all, I'm a former Coug. First and foremost, proud alumni, class of 2008. They got Biggie Smalls. They call me Craig Mack of the whole thing. Okay? But I want to say that I'm very proud of the university, proud of the evolve us evolving to what we are today and expecting national championships every year. That is a blessing. Just continue to support our school and the town and the state. We run the state of Texas. Wasn't always like that, but now we do. We're the talk of the state, and that's a big state. Being in Texas, go Cougs. Check us out on our pages, Elm City Elite, Rob McKiver. We are fighting for a sneaker deal. Support us, follow us. We are beating big sneaker teams, Nike teams, Adidas teams. We doing it all. We working hard every day. Go Elm City Elite. Shouts to New Haven, Connecticut, Big Elm City.
And I am KG Kris Gardner of the Houston Round Ball Review. And if you're joining us last few minutes, Andy Yanez is not with us because he was at the game with his team. Andy wanted his players to see what a hardworking team looks like in person. He wanted them to experience Cougar basketball in person. So that's where he was tonight. But follow me, Houston Round Bar Review, on all the platforms. And if you don't know it, I'm going to say it for you specifically. Since 1994, the Houston Round Ball Review. Local name, global perspective.
Shouts out to the guys, man. Shouts out to Andy too. He ain't here, but big dub tonight. Looking forward to another dub Saturday. And ready for that freshman point guard matchup. Kingston against Darius A. Cup Jr. I'm ready. That's gonna be box office. I'm ready. That's gonna be a big one. I think Kingston gonna come ready to play, looking to show who the best freshman in the country, first point guard in the country. So I'm ready. One game at a time. Now we're gonna knock out New Orleans, then double back. Be ready for Coach Cal. Hope he got his best suit on because I know he gonna come. He gonna need it. And Coach Sampson gonna come in that polo, ready to get busy. As always, baby, go Cougs.
Go Cougs.